The interview was meant to be routine, a simple promotional chat about Outlander's final season. But when Heughan leaned back, offered a thoughtful smile, and murmured, "There's a real difference between real love and the kind people think they see," the entire atmosphere shifted. For years, fans have blurred the boundary between Sam and Jamie Fraser, the fiery Highland warrior whose devotion to Claire has shaped one of television's most unforgettable romances. Yet behind Jamie's charm and strength is a man who, in real life, has wrestled with the meaning of loving truthfully while living inside a story that isn't his own. When asked whether he ever grew tired of people confusing him for his character, Sam let out a warm laugh. "It's funny," he said quietly. "People fall in love with Jamie and assume they understand me through him. But on screen love is crafted, written, rehearsed, perfected until it feels seamless. Real love doesn't hand you a script." The words hung between them like smoke. He went on to explain how acting had taught him about intimacy and connection, yet also revealed how dangerous it can be when audiences forget that those powerful moments belong to fiction, not life. "Jamie and Claire," he said, "were written to be timeless. But actors, real people, are neither flawless nor immortal." He paused, voice softening. "Some days, you wish life could imitate art. But real love is showing up even when the cameras aren't rolling." For the first time, Sam exposed the emotional cost of living under constant public fascination. Every smile shared with Katrina Balfe had been dissected, every comment about chemistry turned into a headline. "I adore Katrina," he admitted warmly. "She's one of the most important people in my life. But what we have is built on trust, not fantasy." It was the kind of honesty that instantly quieted the room. He continued, describing how easily fiction bleeds into reality. "You spend years pretending to love someone in front of a camera," he said. "And eventually your heart forgets where the act ends. You start wondering, am I feeling this because it's true, or because I've lived it so many times it feels true?" His tone drifted from professional to deeply personal, each word weighted by years navigating fame and loneliness. "Love on screen," he said, "is beautiful because it's safe. You already know the ending, the heartbreak, the reunion, the resolution. But real love," he hesitated, choosing his words with care. "Real love demands everything without telling you how the scene will play out. It's unpredictable. It can shatter you, or make you feel alive in a way no performance ever could." For a moment, the conversation felt less like an interview and more like a confession, born from years of trying to balance who he is with who the world imagines him to be. Sam leaned forward, elbows resting on his knees. "People tell me they envy Jamie's love story," he said with a wistful smile. "But Jamie doesn't deal with the noise, the headlines, the expectations, the gap between what people think love should look like and what it actually is." He admitted fame had altered his relationship with love. "It's hard," he said simply. "When your life is public, love becomes fragile. You want to shield it, hide it, because once the world sees it, it stops belonging only to you." Yet his voice carried no bitterness, only a steady kind of hope. "Real love is quieter," he reflected. "It's not about proving anything. It's the small moments no one notices. Maybe that's why it's harder to find, but also why it matters more." When the interviewer asked what he hoped people would take from his words, Sam smiled softly. "That real love doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be honest." For once, Sam wasn't speaking as the legendary Jamie Fraser, but as a man who had learned, slowly and painfully, to separate the roles he plays from the love he still believes in. When the lights dimmed and the cameras clicked off, Sam lingered alone in the quiet studio, lost in thought. Real love doesn't give you a script. The truth had taken years to carve, through heartbreak, long nights, and the exhausting weight of fame. In that quiet, he admitted something he seldom voiced: being loved for a character rather than himself could feel unbearably lonely. "People fall in love with Jamie," he had once confessed to a friend. "But I'm not Jamie, I'm just the man who plays him." That distinction followed him everywhere. Fans expected him to be chivalrous, romantic, endlessly devoted, the perfect Highland hero. And while Sam carried those traits gracefully, he knew real love was far messier. "Jamie always knows the right words," he said. "Real men stumble through them, hoping they don't break the things they care about." He was candid about how fame disrupted relationships. Endless travel, relentless speculation, constant pairing with Katrina. The lines between truth and perception blurred until neither felt stable. I've cared deeply for people, he admitted. But when every gesture becomes a headline, it's hard for something real to survive. Private moments turned into public property. When the world watches you fall in love, he said, it stops feeling like yours. You guard your heart so tightly you forget how to open it again. Still, his voice carried warmth. No bitterness, just a man grown wiser. For a long time, I confused passion with permanence, he reflected. On screen, love burns bright because it's designed to. Real love isn't about fireworks, it's about endurance. His understanding of love had shifted. I used to think love found you, he said. Now I think it's something you choose every single day, with patience, forgiveness, and courage. When asked whether he had experienced real love, Sam offered a gentle smile. Yes, he said, more than once. Sometimes it doesn't last forever. But its truth is in how it changes you, not in how long it stays. Acting had taught him about connection, trust, tenderness, understanding, but the moment the director said cut, he was reminded it wasn't his to keep. Still, those moments taught him what he truly wanted. When asked what real love meant to him now, Sam drew a quiet breath. Peace, he said, someone who doesn't see the actor, or the headlines, just me. Someone who doesn't need me to be anyone else. He smiled, softer now. I don't want a love that feels like a movie anymore. I want one that feels like home. Fans who later watched the interview online said it was the most authentic he had ever been. No charm, no polished soundbites, just truth. One viewer wrote, Sam isn't Jamie. He's the man who understands love because he had to search for it in a world obsessed with the fantasy. The interview clips went viral, sparking conversations about real relationships and the cost of fame. Sam himself seemed calm afterward. He later shared a black and white photo of a quiet Scottish hillside with the caption, sometimes real love is just learning to stay gentle in a hard world. No one knew who he meant, Katrina, someone else, or perhaps himself. But one thing was clear. Sam Heughan had reached a place of clarity. He no longer needed fictional love to define him. The real kind, unguarded, imperfect, honest, was finally something he was ready not just to portray, but to embrace. And for those who had followed his journey from the beginning, that was the most beautiful revelation of all.